this. And we can begin recording.
Are we good, Erin?
Yes.
Hey, welcome, everyone. I'd like to call this September 21st, 2023 meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission to order. We have one public hearing scheduled for this evening, so I want to take a few minutes to read the process for public hearings. During the public hearing, the applicant will be invited to join as a panelist, or in this case, I think you're all here, maybe, that's exciting, to present the application, explaining to the commission and others present what is being requested. The applicant or staff will share all application materials on the screen as needed. Comments of town agencies will be read for each application if there are any. There will be clarifying questions from the commissioners. Then there will be an opportunity for clarifying questions from attendees. Please raise your hand through Zoom platform if you're on Zoom and wait to be called on and unmuted. Next, those who wish to support the application may come forward, and then those who oppose the application may come forward. In this case, I don't think we have any. No, we'll see, but or we can, if it's short, if we want to keep it moving quickly, we can just have everybody at once. As this public hearing must be recorded, it is necessary for speakers to identify themselves each time they speak by stating their name and address. The applicant will then have an opportunity to address any questions or concerns raised by the public or commissioners. Once the public hearing is closed, the applicant is free to leave or remain for the balance of the regular meeting, during which the commission will try to reach a decision on each application. Each applicant will be notified in writing as to the decision of this commission and has a right to appeal to the Superior Court if desired. Decisions of this meeting are available the day after the meeting by calling the Land Use Department at 203-245-5631 after 9 a.m. All actions taken tonight by the commission will be by roll call. All commissioners and staff will identify themselves for the record before speaking. Seated this evening, we have John Dusa, John Morgan, Michael Bogdan, who I would like to seat to fill a vacancy. Bob O'Connor, Janet Peckinpah.
Bob Reinhardt did get to join us.
Bob Reinhardt has joined us via Zoom. I don't know if we'll see him. Yeah, hi.
There he is.
Hi, Bob.
Yes, great, welcome, good timing. And myself, Carol Snow, Chair. Staff present this evening is Erin Mannix, Town Planner. This meeting is live streamed on YouTube and will be made available on the town website for viewing. Additionally, I would like to ask that we treat each other respectfully throughout the meeting. The Town Planner will now read the legal notice.
There's no special legal notice for this evening, as our public hearing was opened last month and immediately continued to this month. So with that,
Okay,
it
great.
would be
So we'll move to our first item on the
2332.
agenda, which is 23-32, 503 Old Toll Road, map 143, lot 20, zone RU1, owner applicant Little Blessings Real Estate LLC, special exception permit modification for section 5.4A to allow daycare and preschool services for children 6 weeks of age and older. Do you have a presentation?
We do. Good evening, members of the Planning and Zoning Commission. My name is Jeffrey Beatty. I'm an attorney in Guilford with the firm Sullivan Griffith Beatty. I'm here on behalf of the applicant, Little Blessings Real Estate LLC. And as you just read, it's our request to have the special permit, it's a special exception permit that was granted that allowed the OLM prep school to operate as a school for students from preschool to grade 3. My clients operate a childcare facility for children from age 6 weeks to 5 years old. And so we are requesting that the special permit that was granted in 2018 to allow OLM prep to operate on the site be modified because there was, the language of the special permit was not ambiguous, but the use that my client doesn't match up exactly with the use of the school from preschool to grade 3. We're doing from 6 weeks, considerably younger than preschool, although there is some learning going on in the facility through age 5. So that's what we're asking the commission to consider this evening. We do believe that the, just so the commission may be familiar with the site, but if you're not, it's across the street from the Roberts Shopping Center on Old Toll Road. The site has been used historically as a childcare facility. It was a learning center for a number of years. Then it transformed into OLM prep. My clients signed a lease with the then owners in 2000 and have operated, 2020, I'm sorry, and then have operated the facility there since that time. And then they acquired title to the property in 2022. They've continued to operate it. They have approximately 47 students there now. So they're serving a need to the community. And that's part of the reason for the application, is to say that what we're doing complies with the comprehensive plan of development and your regulations in that. In the RU1 zone, preschools and daycare facilities are used. We call it a child care facility. It's really unclear as to whether it's fish or fowl between preschool and childcare, but the goal is to provide a location for parents to leave their children while they work and have them in an environment that's close to home. There have been no objections received that my client's aware of since they started the business in 2020. We're not aware of any objections that were submitted in connection with our application. We believe we comply with the comprehensive plan of development in that we're providing a service that benefits the community, particularly the North Madison community. And it also, if the commission were to apply to grant our application, it will sustain a ongoing business and help it continue to thrive and prosper in the community. So for those reasons, we believe we satisfy the criteria for the commission to consider when to review and considering our application. I've prepared a brief letter that outlines all of those points that I just made, which I'm happy to share with all of you. I believe I have enough copies, but having said that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have with regard to our application. I think it's fairly straightforward, but again, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Attorney Beatty. We did receive the history of special exceptions and
Yeah.
the shifting
Extensive.
age
Yeah.
groups.
The owners of the property and the folks who have been operating business there have done their best to try and comply
It's
with the
clear.
regulations and come before the commission from time to time to make sure they're doing so. And my clients are no different.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yes, so our records, and just to reiterate what you said, Attorney Beatty, is that the preschool facility is an allowed use on the property currently. There are filed special exception certificates. This really did come up during a refinancing process. I think that once we started researching the documents and looking specifically at the ages, we realized that there was a lapse in the little ones. And so it was recommended by staff that we just come forward and clarify this just so that you're protected moving forward. Even though all local and state permitting has taken place and you've been operating fully permitted, it just seems that it was an oversight. So again, it is consistent with, complies with the zoning regulations. There's no physical changes being proposed on the property at this time.
Yeah. no,
It's
great.
just to expand for the infant and toddlers.
And the
Questions from any?
change in use from what previously, but remaining childcare services.
Right. And there's certainly a need.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah. Any questions from any commissioners?
Yeah. What's the maximum capacity of students that you can?
Pardon?
What's the maximum capacity?
My name is Tom Macy. I'm chairman of the board and president of the Blessing. We just added another classroom to the back of the second building, 500 square feet. And a week ago, we were approved by the state to amend the license to increase our capacity from 37 to 51. 14 additional buildings that we can take, and most of that classroom opened the very next day. It's pretty full. Right, already.
Great.
We're doing very well.
So that total, just in case, Bob, you didn't hear that, is 51 students is the total.
Up to 51.
Up to, that's for the state license.
Are you affiliated with a church in the area? No.
No, we're an independent nonprofit corporation in the state of Connecticut.
Any other questions or comments? Not, could I have a motion? We have,
This is a public hearing, so we need to
right.
see if we have anybody attending remotely who would like to speak for or against the
I
application.
can't see that list of people there, hands up.
It's not, yeah.
Yeah.
There, I don't see anyone with their hands up remotely. And everyone in the room is either an applicant or a professional associated with the
Waiting to
applicant.
be
So
next.
I don't believe anyone here is going to speak as well. So
Unless you really hate kids.
thanks, Joel.
It's nice to have people in the audience. It's it's kind of a new experience for us.
I think the only recommendation from staff perspective would be that as the other special exceptions are filed on the land records, that any continuance of the special exception would keep the same conditions in place on the property.
So would someone like to make a motion? Do the wrong-
Don't to close the
Don't we have
hearing
to close
first.
it first? Oh, yes, thank you, Erin.
Janice got that.
Thank you.
Good job.
First, we need a motion to close the public hearing and
I think we've heard enough.
the deliberation. I think that's the motion. Second from Janet, all in favor, close the public hearing. Thank you. And to move to deliberation, I think it's very straightforward. Appreciate what you're providing to the town.
Yes.
Could I have a motion unless there's any further discussion?
Yes.
Do you want to?
It's in your folder if you'd like to read it.
There's a
It's on the second
a
page.
draft resolution.
Draft law resolution is offered, voted that the Madison County and Zoning Commission approved application 23-3 by Road.
Excuse me, yeah, I might have to give you the microphone so that the microphone's on the TV. So, yeah.
All set?
Is it on?
Yeah, you just have to speak right into it.
Okay. The following draft resolution is offered, voted that the Madison County and Zoning Commission approved application 23-32 by Old Road, map 43, lot 20, zone RU1, States LLC, special exception permit modification for section 5A to allow daycare and preschool services to children 6 weeks of age and older with the following condition. All conditions placed on previous special permit shall remain effective. This approval is made based upon county.
Can't hear you.
I'm sure everybody can hear.
Yeah,
Bob-
no one remotely can hear you.
Bob, can you hear?
How about now? There you go.
Yeah, that's better.
Sorry, you can't hear me.
Now,
I could not hear it.
Based upon the finding that the proposed use is a permitted use in the district and that the standards, prerequisites, and conditions specified by the regulations have been met. Daycare facilities provided a needed service to both residents and professionals within our community with the conditions already in place by previous approvals. There are adverse impacts are anticipated on medically green properties. The effective date of this approval is October 5th, 2023, and upon filing of the special exception certificate on Madison Land Records.
Thank you. Can I have a second? Second by Bob O'Connor.
Shouldn't say there are no adverse impacts anticipated.
Oh, you're absolutely right.
Was that a typo?
Yeah.
There are not adverse impacts anticipated. My apologies. Good catch, John.
Any further discussion? Ready for a vote? Bob, you're joining us for the vote? All in favor?
Yes.
Raise hands and say aye. Any
Aye.
opposed? And no abstentions. Okay, unanimously approved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you. We are having a little bit of trouble picking up everybody's voice, so we do, but just because we're spread out and the microphones are above, the units above the television, we do have to really enunciate in order
Speak
for
up.
everybody who's attending remotely to hear
Okay, great.
our
Do our best.
discussions, and if not, we can take the microphone and speak directly.
So moving right along to our next agenda item, which is a pending application, 23-40 Surf Club Road, map 36, lot 50, zone R2, the owner is the town of Madison. The applicant is Duo Dickinson, who is here, I think this is Duo Dickinson. Yeah.
We do.
He is today.
legendary.
We're not saying
no,
legendary.
Don't get anxious.
We're not used to having all these hard copies. This is new experience too. Okay, so.
Okay, I'm just gonna pull the plans up.
While
While
this is
you're
a minor site
introducing.
plan review and coastal site plan to install a small paver plaza with a tribute rock at Strong Field. Okay. Aaron, you're gonna pull it up on
Which
the
plan
screen
would
as
you
well?
like up? Your site plan?
Whatever you like. Who's that old guy?
Austin?
No, no. Austin is not the old guy.
There we go.
So I can, you want me to scroll down to your detail sheet?
Sure, why not? But we're talking about a little area right there.
Yep,
So for those,
there's the circle.
this little area here,
You have little pictures of the thing.
and this is based off of the approved landscape plan for Strong Field. So that shows that it was all natural grass turf.
There you are. That there.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect.
And that's what we have. That's
Okay.
our counts too. And the poster for this. Great.
So I'm Duo Dickinson. I'm an architect, 94 Bradley Road, Madison, Connecticut. I live at 945 Boston Post Road. And I'm joined by the chairman of P and Z. And
No.
oh, no, that's Pete Sherman.
You are. She's here.
Just two letters to the name.
You can swap whatever you want.
Austin's eyes.
Austin's here.
I don't want that.
Yeah, by the way, you were swapping. And
Happy to
You're
swap.
gonna do some life saving at the beach.
That'd be
So,
great.
so,
We're off to a good start.
so essentially, I was approached by Steve McIntyre and by Coach Becker to stick the football team started the idea that they really wanted to be able to have a place when the buses pull over here, they run out and they want to have some talisman to touch when they come onto the field.
Love it.
It's all very emotional to me. I think you know, some people know, over 14 years, Coach Larry Ciotti, a group of us recreated this. We raised $3.5 million and we spent 7 different construction sequences to completely reinvent the field houses, the stands, the lights, everything. So over time, stuff has evolved. We've had a lacrosse memorial put over here. There's been there's another memorial that we did over here that was part during the time we were doing it. And we've been augmenting continuously the halls of fame, which are here and here. And we added actually an entry, which actually had more memoria in it. So it's an evolving, living thing. And a group of us are very careful to preserve it. This gentleman, and also we also get requests for things. So we got this request to do this thing. The original idea was that they wanted to memorialize the mothers of athletes. Well, when we went to P&Z, they said, that's too restrictive. We want to be able to have recognition, a broader recognition. And so we call it Devotion Rock. And the language that Beach and Rex gave us, or we derived together, was Devotion Rock is dedicated to honoring the supporters of all high school athletics at Strong Field, with all monies received beyond the cost of the construction sent to the boosters of the sport the donation honors. So we don't have all the money yet to do it. We have enough to risk money and put it in. The stones arrived last week. The rock itself, the Devotion Rock, if you scroll it down, you'll actually see the Devotion Rock. Keep going. I think it's further down. Yeah. Well, it's not there. It's here though. No, it's not even here. It's here.
It's there.
Yeah.
You have a photo of
Yeah.
it.
You have a photo of the Devotion Rock.
The rock.
That was actually found on the golf course about half a mile to the north.
So it's 4 feet tall.
It's 4 feet tall.
Madison Rock.
It's probably, I would think, from Canada, and the glacier brought it down about 25,000 years ago. But anyway,
Yeah.
close enough. And there'll be either a chisel into it or a plaque put on it that says Devotion Rock. We have room for about 228 names. We could probably go more than that. I think we already have about 80 names. There's a lot of interest to do it. And so this is 7 feet by what's the overall? The overall's 14 or whatever, 13 feet, 12.9. That all fits exactly into the infrastructure that's there. There's a chase for electrical and there's a fence and they have to mow and it all fits. So we're essentially asking for, what are we asking for, Aaron?
A minor site plan modification and a coastal site.
Because you know, when the tidal waves come, that rock is a projectile. So
Believe it or not, Duo, that came back as the one recommendation from DEEP,
Yeah,
To
there was some
suggest
concern about
the
that.
possibility of anchoring the rock in case of movement during storm events. And
if you say.
I'm not
we-
sure that,
All we need to do, but it's extra money, is we put a number 8 pin in there, 4 inches up, 4 inches down.
I think that would be left to,
More than enough, yeah.
Your
I mean, this
design
is granite or nice or something.
It's a couple tons.
Yeah, so and it-
Sure.
I would guess, yeah, I would guess it's a
Take
good
another
time.
ice age, a little bit, right?
A good time.
Yeah, and actually, that's another issue. When the glaciers actually scratch and pull the stands off with the sound, there will be a pollution aspect, but I think we can leave that to future generations. So.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the only other thing, Duo, that we wanted to talk about was that it is a coastal site plan application. So we did identify on the property that clearly this is a beachfront park. There are quite a number of coastal resources located on site, general coastal resources, beaches and dunes, coastal hazard area. This is located in a flood zone, AE elevation 14, within the limit of moderate wave action. Where we have coastal waters on site, shorelands and tidal wetlands. We also have similar resources adjacent to the site, including beaches and dunes, coastal hazard area, coastal waters, freshwater, wetlands and watercourses, shellfish concentration areas, shorelands, and tidal wetlands. Considering the scope of this project in the small area, it is not anticipated that construction activities will have an adverse impact on either on-site or adjacent coastal resources. However, the potential is there for erosion or sedimentation during an installation, you know,
Yes.
in case there was a storm event or something of that nature. And Austin can plan construction activities around any incoming weather events.
100%.
The goal is to get this done for November, correct?
Thanksgiving game.
Thanksgiving game.
Because another hazard that comes every 2 years to this site is the Guilford football team.
Right.
And we do have to deal with that.
I actually do have a couple of questions for either one of you about the rock. You know, I'm used to dealing with sculptures and installation of outdoor sculptures. And in fact, I've had artists who think large rocks are, you know, just they plop them down and that's it. Is it flat on the bottom?
It's flat enough.
And
But what's
do
more
you wanna
important-
Dig down and.
Well, the way this will work is that it works pretty propitiously in that we're going to put a big slab down with some reinforcement top and bottom because there'll be uplift as well as gravity loads. And the stones we have are about 1 1/8 inches. So the rock will lay down probably in a mortar bed
set in
there.
Yeah.
and then we'll cut the stones to that. So it's going to be sort of surrounded and then grouted in with the stones.
Yep.
And then the weird thing about this one, we looked at I'm not going to lie, we looked at about 30 rocks in about 3 different locations. Several were highly inappropriate in their shapes and sizes. This one was just around the corner, but it has a flattish bottom, but it also has got an amazingly nice flattish face. And it's just high, well, yeah, it's just high enough that when you're running around, you can touch it.
Yeah.
So it's like this miracle rock, so.
Austin, you're not worried about safety issues of kids because they're gonna climb on it.
I mean, it's 4 feet off the ground.
Yeah, yeah.
It should.
And it's been tumbled for about 3,000 miles, so it's been fairly well softened.
How far down is the compacted gravel?
Probably almost nothing, because the truth is what's under there is gravel and sand.
Oh,
So when this thing is this is this big spread out mat, maybe it goes down an 1/8 of an inch, the whole thing, but maybe not. Because it will be sitting on top of a bed of trap rock. So it'll take the trap rock, will come in, and so that if any water gets around there, it's not gonna do that, it's gonna basically diffuse, yeah.
That's good. Any other questions or comments, concerns? Could, in that case, could I have a motion and we have a staff?
Do we have people to go on?
This is not a public
It's
hearing.
not-
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Thank you, Janet, though. Struggling. So we have a draft resolution.
Well, the one thing I did not mention was this is of course approved by P and Z, approved by, I mean, not P and Z, approved by Beach and Rec, approved by ACA.
yes, and ACA's only comment was to keep the pavers consistent with the existing plaza area so that it
Sure.
ties in and,
Yeah.
And
which is,
we're
plan
giving this to
anyway.
the selectmen or has been given to selectmen or something like that?
yes, so
One day.
One day. We're already give this officially. to the-
Great. I have a motion. Sure. To approve, and we have a staff resolution, draft resolution.
Want me to read it?
Yep, thank you, Janet.
thanks.
Voted that the Madison Planning, see, I don't need it.
Good.
Voted that the Madison Planning and Zoning Commission approve application number 2340-40 Surf Club Road, map 36 lot 50, zone R2, owner Town of Madison, applicant Dua Dickinson, minor site plan review and coastal site plan, install a small paver plaza with a tribute rock at Strongfield as shown on application documents with the following conditions. That that the zoning enforcement officer be notified 48 hours prior to any site disturbance. 2, the applicant shall maintain adequate soil and erosion control measures during construction activities. 3, the applicant shall adequately anchor the rock if its weight is determined insufficient to withstand wave action. This approval is made based upon the finding that no adverse impacts to on-site or adjacent coastal resources are anticipated. This project is an enhancement to a municipal park that currently provides public access to residents and visitors. This project is consistent with all applicable coastal policies. The effective date of this approval is October 5th, 2023.
Thank you, Janet. Can I have a second? Rebecca, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It's unanimous.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's a really
Good work on your part, can say nothing but thank you.
Well, the hardest, it's almost
Okay.
easy, it's almost easier to build this thing and maintain it and also release some plate this year. Because it's just, it's very ripe for abuse, so to keep it looking good.
There will be graffiti, yeah,
Oh.
I'm afraid. Maybe, maybe that's.
You've been pretty successful down
uh,
there in the plaza
The
area.
skateboard, the skateboard area.
We're keeping this close would be helpful.
But it's also like it's, the letters get broken.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Great.
All right, Erin, did you want to review any upcoming?
We can go through these pretty quickly because we don't have any other action
Yeah.
items. 28 Toffee Lane has granted an extension to the commission to go over some comments from DEEP and meet with both staff and floodplain administrator. So that is the reason for tabling that application to the October 19th meeting. And 2325 Longshore Lane, this application was postponed for inland wetlands. And given the timeframes before us, the latest the commission can table this application is the October 5th meeting. And beyond that, the applicant would then need to withdraw and reapply. So we would likely have an update for you at our next meeting to let you know if that's.
So it's pending
the case.
inland wetlands.
Yes, and inland wetlands won't meet again until after that date, so.
Okay.
Maybe challenging. 916 Boston Post Road. This was received at your last meeting, officially received at your last meeting on September 7th. And we will need to schedule a public hearing. And the next available date for a public hearing would be the October 19th meeting. This is a special exception modification in a coastal site plan to request to remove public access viewing area on the property.
Okay.
We would need a motion to schedule that hearing.
Oh, so this is the time to make a motion. Could I have a motion to schedule the public hearing for 916 Boston Post Road for October 19th?
I'll make a motion to schedule that hearing.
Thank you. And a second.
I'll second it.
Bob O'Connor, thank you. All in favor, public hearing coming up in October.
Aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
I did keep 105 Circle Beach, application 2331 on the agenda, but this has formally been withdrawn. The applicant would require a variance for this particular proposal. So they've withdrawn that application to determine what their next steps will be. We have 3 receipts this evening. The first receipt is application 23-44. This is a petition for regulation text amendment to the Plan Development District, Section 32. And the applicants are Julie Ovian and Frank Angelino. Again, we would need to schedule a public hearing. The next available would be October 19th.
Could I have a motion that we schedule the public hearing for October 19th? Thank you. Second, John Morgan and Michael Boyka. Okay, thanks. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, one
Aye.
more upcoming public hearing.
Yes, 2346, 31 Stony Lane. This is a petition for a zone boundary change and a development plan approval to establish an open space conservation district. For those who are unfamiliar with what this concept is, it's a floating zone, similar, that concept similar to a planned development district where you're applying a specific zone over the boundaries of a particular site. And approving essentially a master plan concept at that time. And that does require a public hearing. And the applicant is also requesting for an October 19th public hearing.
So we should
We would need a motion for
move to
this.
schedule a public hearing for October 19th for this as well. Can I have that motion? Mike Boyka, second.
Second.
Janet, thanks. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, so.
Aye.
Be a busy night.
Cool. That's my birthday. We're not going out that night.
No.
No.
Thank
And
you.
2347 is also 31 Stony Lane. This is a 6-lot subdivision within an open space conservation district. So this would be the follow-up step after an establishment of
The first step.
yes, after the establishment of an actual open space conservation district. And this subdivision does not require a public hearing. But that is on also as received.
So this one, the second one will follow the first one, some
It
future
would
date
follow,
to be determined.
it would follow
Exactly.
pending
Depending
the
on
outcome of that, correct.
The first 23-46. All right, thank you, Aaron. Move on to approval of minutes. Secretary John Weaver.
Sure, there's a regular meeting, August 17th. Members present, Snow, Duza, Peckinpah, Morgan, Lugdale, Reinhardt, and O'Connor. Motion for approval?
Is that the one that has Charles Walls still on it as being absent? Not that from- I don't know that it's-
Oh, yeah, that would just be a note, Raquel,
Okay.
that Charlie Walls did resign from the commission, so
Prior to that meeting.
we'll just make sure that he's not on the list of attendees moving
Otherwise, they
forward.
look great.
Looks good to me too. Okay, vote to approve. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. Next, September 7th meeting. Members present, Snow, Duza, O'Connor, Peckinpah, and Morgan. Motion to approve. Second. Thank you. Any comments or edits? I have none.
We're good.
Move to approve.
Bob Reinhardt, are you voting?
He was not.
Thank
there.
you.
Yeah, okay.
I wasn't here. I'm staying.
Oh, abstain. Okay,
Abstain.
thanks.
Okay,
For the
makes
record,
sense.
he's
Since he
abstaining,
wasn't
he's not
there.
here.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Great. All right, I have no further remarks. Erin, did you have anything else?
I don't. I will send, and I started drafting an email to all of you this evening with just individual documents to make it easier so that you're not looking through as you're reviewing remand documents.
I appreciate it.
Verbatims, one meeting at a time, so you have to and read through one at a time. And then make sure that you have appropriate links. It's just a little
Thanks,
better
Sarah.
organized. And we will again reach out with some additional dates for a follow-up executive session to be able to talk about this a little more. Some questions have come up from commissioners. If you have others, feel free to reach out to me and ask me. And we'll make sure that our attorney is here to have not a constrained time, we won't give ourselves a half an hour before the next meeting. We'll make sure that we have enough time to just have a good conversation so that you can have any of your questions answered, because I know some have come up.
Great.
And again, there is not necessarily a time frame on that.
There's no deadline.
There's no deadline, and we'll work to pick a date in the future. It's a little like herding cats, trying to get all of us on the same
Boy, it is.
schedule.
Yes,
I'm
it
not gonna lie. So I'm doing my best here, but I'll get
No,
you some
appreciate it.
dates. And that's all I have.
Great.
Thanks,
Okay.
Aaron.
Aaron, I have a question. You can send some material about possible training for other people.
Yes, training.
But I don't think I need anything this year, right? I think I had one already.
So the mandatory training, it's 4 hours for the year.
For
And
this
so
year,
you were
right.
seated as of January 1st, so you would have 4 hours total until January 1st, 2024. If you attended the Bar Association
That's right.
all-day training, that will count towards that. Just make sure, and I'm going to have Michelle look through our spreadsheet.
Sure.
And I can send a copy out if you think there's something that you have missed. It really is self-reporting to us.
Okay,
Once you do attend these sessions, and we will keep track of them, but I do need to make sure that
okay.
we
I
haven't
also-
missed anything.
I just wanted to add about the SCROG training that you've recently been sharing with us. That also is being recorded so that in the future you can watch
And are
it.
they posting that? I was gonna wait and
they
see.
are. They're going to. They're going to. I mean, they've discussed it at our meetings, our
Good.
regional planning meetings, that
So
will be
when that's
recorded.
posted, that will count as well. I
Yeah.
know somebody, it might have been on ZBA, had
And you
reached
can
out
digest it
asking
as like an hour at a time.
if you can watch at your convenience.
Or
Good,
two of the hours I did that way.
yeah.
But they don't know who's there.
It's
they-
self-reporting.
It's
That's right. So
self-reporting.
you report to
To you.
us as staff, and then we will report, it's the selectman's office who ultimately gathers all of the information on an annual basis. So we're tracking in the office.
Yep. Okay, we'll get there.
Yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape in this,
I'm
on this
I'm done.
commission, I think. I think
You're
you've
done.
all jumped on board pretty early on, so that's
You're
good.
right.
Good. Great.
Doesn't mean I still don't have a lot to learn though.
I know, I think
Oh,
repeating
you
it
brought
doesn't
your
hurt.
books tonight. I've got mine in the car.
We can do that next year too. All right, could we have a motion to adjourn?
Make a
Janet,
motion to
thank you.
adjourn.
Nice and early.
Second,
Okay.
I know, right?
Take it while you can, it's gonna be later next month.
Great.
Well,
Good night,
you.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks for joining.
Yes.